AITA for asking my coworker not to eat her cultural food in the break room? I know how the title sounds, and I'm sure as you begin reading this post it'll sound worse, but please hear me out. I, 25F, have a wonderful coworker, 54F, who I get along really well with. This coworker is Nepalese and I am a white woman. In the past she's been kind enough to bring in different food from her culture for us all to try. I have zero problem with her, or anyone else, bringing in food from their culture, and I've really enjoyed some of the dishes and sweets she's brought, especially the barfi she brought in earlier this year for Diwali. My workplace has lots of different cultures and I usually don't care what anyone else brings to lunch, at least until this situation. A couple of weeks ago I noticed a horrible smell in the break room that was incredibly strong. It was kind of like if you farted into a sweaty sock and stuck it to your face. It was honestly inescapable within the room, even after I changed the rubbish bin. I didn't know what it was, but ended up going outside and eating in my car. I figured it was just a one-off, but for every few days I'd smell it again. I genuinely had no idea where it was coming from. During this time I just ate outside the building, or in my car. However, one day I walked in and it was somehow even stronger. This day happened to be a day I had the same break as Jane. I noticed she was eating a fruit and realized that's where the smell was coming from. I asked what she was eating and she told me it was called durian, I think that's how it's spelt. And she had only recently found a good market for them. I said I was glad she was enjoying it, but mentioned that its smell was quite overpowering and left the room smelling afterwards. I asked her if she wouldn't mind eating it at home, or going outside as the smell really lingers in the staff room. She said she never really noticed the smell but would do her best to do so. She seemed a bit annoyed but hasn't brought it in to the break room since. I was talking with a friend about this, also white, and she said I was behaving in a racist way towards my coworker and it was wrong to police her cultural food. I argued that it wasn't a cultural thing and I'd have done the same if someone was microwaving fish or another smelly food. This has caused a debate between us about if what I did was offensive, and while I do still think I was right, I am beginning to question if I could be viewed as in the wrong. So Reddit, am I the a-hole?